still even remember your intro, girl. I need to practice. Much better. Yes. Hello honeys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kitumetse Molea and Kitumetse. I am so happy that you have clicked to join on this video and therefore to join our beautiful family. To my cozy crew, the chief executive officers, my regular day one subscribers who are always supporting me and showing me love. Thank you so much for coming back and being patient with me. Life happens, right? But if it's your first time here, where have you been? I want you to take this as an official invitation to join our beautiful family. And how do you join? You join by liking, by commenting, by subscribing, by sharing with your friends. You know, this is an open party. Everyone is welcome. A lot has happened in the last couple of months and the last few years of my life. I really want to do a get to know me tag, but also more of like a life update, because so much has happened and I feel like I have grown and I keep on growing into this woman and a woman that I am proud to be today. But that is not something that comes easy, you know. Along our journey of womanhood, we go through so many trials and tribulations, and all of that shapes us and it shapes our identity. So I wanted to do a video just to sort of like catch up with you guys and tell you where I've been and what's been happening. Oh my word, life. And also, if you're new here, perhaps you can get to know me as well and just maybe draw a thing or two from my life experience. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. So my name is Kitumetse Molea. Some of you guys know me as Natalie. Yes, I'm Natalie as well. Yeah, and I was born in Pretoria, South Africa. I am, yes, Kiwanyana wa Motswana, Watswang, South Africa, you know. Yes, and when I was young, my family, they discovered that I had a talent for singing, and I was literally the entertainer, guys, of the family. Like, I was always the one who, like, when we had a special gathering, I would like put on my mom's gown. I remember she had some silky gowns and I would just put it on and I would just start singing. And my mom then realized that I actually had a love and passion for the arts. And my mom, actually, she's a singer herself. She's got a beautiful voice. Do you know what? My older sister, actually, she can sing as well. And we always used to sing together growing up. And I think my younger siblings are picking it up as well, because I hear them harmonizing and I'm like, oh girl, you can sing. I love that so much. I'm actually one of 5, so I have 4 siblings, yeah, and 1 brother. So that's 3 sisters and 1 brother, yes. But basically they discovered, my family discovered that I had a love for singing and a passion for music, and so it's just something that grew. When I was young, I used to do modeling. I used to do modeling competitions. I participated in Miss Teen SA, and I used to strap my staff, and I won Miss Cadbury as well, Little Miss Cadbury. I had to find all the pictures and attach it. And it was just such a beautiful childhood to have. But because I was also raised in a church environment, I was exposed to, obviously, sort of like a life of also, I don't want to say control, but I want to say more of being raised with discipline and protection, you know, from the world, because the truth is the world is not always a safe place for a young girl growing up, right? So as much as I had all this talent and this love for music, I was supported in my family, and I think that's what gave me the courage to also just believe in the beauty of my dreams. But to a certain extent, I felt like there were some limits, because your environment can protect you, but also you can develop fear, a fear of like the outside world, or the fear of what if, and that's something I had to overcome from a young age. However, I am still working on other areas of my life where I feel like, okay, you still have fears when it comes to this, right? Things that you need to work on and develop. And so I'm lucky because at least I had a family that was really supportive. Like, I was never told, no, you should do because at one point, to be honest with you, I had an interest in law. You know how when you're in school and like every time they're like, oh, do a school project, and then I would do it like in law because my mom had, sort of that background, and it's what I saw growing up. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So sometimes I do some of my school projects in that. And I remember when I was going to university now, and it was like, oh, I had no idea what to study. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to study? And like, I was, when you're growing up, sometimes like you face so many different challenges in your coming of age, and you feel lost, but you also kind of feel like you know it all. Like, it's so weird, but like the more you grow up, the more you realize that, girl, you know nothing. And so like I remember when I applied to university, and it was now a matter of figuring out like what I was going to study, and my mom had met someone who happened to be studying a BA drama at University of Pretoria, and she was like, oh hey, I bumped into someone who does this degree, and this is kind of like what you're into, and how about you give it a try? And and I was like, because of everything that was happening, especially in my family structure at that time, I didn't realize how out of touch with things I was, and so I was not as interested. I was like, yeah, and my mom and my aunt and my family members, they were so supportive to me, because there's a point where I was like, oh, I'm taking a gap year, no, because that was like the in thing to do as well. But long story short, I ended up applying, and I got into my course, and it was just miraculous how everything happened. And I was grateful that I had that supportive structure and people that believed in me doing what I love. And going into the degree, it had its own ups and downs. Obviously, you're going into a new environment, and because of things that were happening in my life, I feel like I was the kind of person who's like, I'm a loner. I realize that now even more, that I love being alone. Like, I love my alone time, but I'm also an extrovert, and I'm a lover. I love being around people that I love. I love spending time with my friends. But I've just become, I guess, so independent that I think I'm able to achieve more when I'm alone, and when I'm focused, and when I'm intuitive, and not just, you can be alone and distracted, right? But when I'm able to go within and just feel, because sometimes I've found that, especially when you're growing up and you're always in, like, there's cliques, there's friendship groups, and I've had my own fair share of the negative side of that, of bullying, of oh my gosh, right? Can you imagine this beautiful girl? Can you imagine? Trust me, I have, like, and those kind of things can affect you. And I was the kind of person who, I had a phase of like self-isolation, because I felt like I knew that I'm a big deal. And sometimes that's what it takes in life, is that you don't need other people. You shouldn't require other people to validate you. But the world wants you to need that, to want their validation, to want their permission, to that you must walk around like expecting, right, things to just align in your favor. Well, yeah, to some extent, yeah, that is very, very important. But what it means is that it's not necessarily going to come from other people. The validation is going to come from yourself, from your belief of self, from your relationship with God, from how aligned you are with your dreams, with your goals, with your vision, and also just having grace for yourself, right? Having the ability to say, you know what, I made a mistake. Wow, girl, okay, you need to be more patient with yourself. I believe in you. Like, you have to use those words of affirmation in terms of knowing who you are and appreciating who you are, right? So, but there we go. The uni thing, look at how, right? I digress. So, ended up actually finishing my degree. But guys, I need to tell you a story about how good God has been in my life, because you know, maybe this is a good time for me to tell you that story. I ended up studying my BA drama in musical theater at the University of Pretoria, and you know, I had a wonderful time. I feel like I was exposed to the arts and doing what I love doing, and yeah, I really grew in that time. I met some amazing friends. Some of them are still, like, I'm still close with at this day. So it's honestly, it was such a blessed experience. It was a very, very busy time of my life, but I came out on top, I will say. The sad part though is that I didn't even get to attend my own graduation ceremony. Oh my word. Ask me why. Ask me why. Ask me. Are you asking me? So in the final year of my university degree, you know, when you're going through that phase where like it's hard, you're trying to find out, what am I gonna do next, like what, and I'm the kind of person, I always want to know what's next or what I'm doing. And so as I've grown, obviously I've learned to manage that, because now I understand how everything is in God's control and it's all about alignment and God's plan. And so I'm getting better at that. But then I was like, girl, what are you doing? What are you up to? Like, because I mean, everyone goes through that phase between school and work, and like, what does it mean? Am I unemployed? What is happening in my life? So then a friend of mine, actually Nell, she was 1 year ahead of me actually, and she was like, hey friend, I'm going to these auditions, and these were the Lion King auditions. And I remember going on YouTube and I was like, I watched the video of the production, and I remember I just saw the sunrise right on the video just coming up, and I was like, ooh, I was like, that is beautiful. I had always loved theater and just the art form and how beautiful it is, the ability to paint imagery and to bring forth like words of, I don't know, just beautiful words, to paint these beautiful picturesque pictures, and then you have these harmonies and these voices all coming together to tell a story. I was like, ooh. And then I heard Circle of Life. I was like, from the day we arrive on this planet, I was like, I was like, yeah, it's the circle of life. And it moves us all. It was beautiful, and I was like, wow, I'm sold. It was so beautiful. And so I prepared that song. Like, I remember I was in Kaiki Peering Riz at that point, and I was just preparing. I was using one of the halls to just rehearse. And so I went to the audition, and I remember when I got into the audition room, I felt so good. I was like, yeah, I mean, I had heard that you have to audition like 1,000,000 times and stuff like that, but I was like, not me. Not me, sorry, not me. So funny. And then I was like, this is a safe space, okay guys? It's a safe space, ne? Okay? And we are being open and transparent. So I was like, oh my word, I went and they have you sing Moya oh la 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 Jesuka Moya oh la 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 Jesuka. Then you go up Moya me oh la 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 Jesuka Moya go up and up and up and up and and you're singing, right? And I remember I left that audition and I felt really good. I was like, oh, I felt good. I had fun. And this was still kind of like midway, must have been around like July, August. Yeah, and then I went home. So then a couple of months later we came back and we were doing some workshops, and I was like, wow, that is just so interesting. We did some more workshops, and long story short is that a few months, actually, right, I was in exam season at that point, and you know, this must have been around like November or something, and I was going from res, and I just saw, I had a missed call first of all, and then later on I looked at my email. I was like and the email, maybe I should read it for you guys. Should I? Like, because this, I feel like this is just gonna be, imagine, do I still have the email on my this is just going to be something else. If I find, oh there, yes, oh my word. Yes, dear Kitumezi, I hope this finds you well. I am the general manager for The Lion King Worldwide, and we are currently casting the premier Mandarin language company in Shanghai, China. We are planning to start rehearsals around 1st of March 2016 with an opening in late May. We would love for you to join us in the singing ensemble and understudy the role of Rafiki. Please let me know if you're interested to be part of this exciting new company. If yes, one of my colleagues from the local team will... Guys, I was like... I was like, oh my gosh. I was so happy. And even my response honestly was like, hi, I'm so thrilled and excited and out of words, you know. My heart was so open and beautiful. And yeah, like looking back, oh my word, it said sent from my BlackBerry 10 smartphone. Oh my goodness, that is so hilarious. That is so funny. And that was 2015. So that email was sent October 24th. This is actually weird because it's October 28th today, and yeah, and currently 16:08. I just feel like that's a lot of interesting moments right there. Yeah, 28th of October, and 2025, it's 2025, and this was sent in 2015. Guys, my brain is thinking a lot right now, but like, wow, I was like, that's literally 10 years ago. Wow. And so when I look back in my life, I'm like, I went straight from high school straight into university, and I did my degree 3 years, and immediately after that then I moved to Shanghai, China. I need to fill you guys in. Maybe I'll do like a separate video and be like, how was it when I first moved to China, and just the process. Really, that would be so interesting to just get into it. But long story short is, when I received that email, I was so happy. I was so excited. I remember I called my family, my mom, everyone was so happy. And I went to Google. I was like, how, like, what are the culture shocks? Because I had never traveled outside the continent. I was literally only like 20 at that time. And so I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, 2021. And I was like trying to figure out, well, how's it going to be? And I moved to Shanghai, China. It was the best experience. I feel like I really got to learn more about myself. And I fell in love with the love of travel. That's where I discovered that actually I love learning about other people's cultures and the differences that we have about as humans, and how similar we are. As much as we all think we're different, we all have a beating heart. We all have blood that runs through our veins. We all want to be loved. We all want to give love to others, and we all just want to live well. Yeah, so I feel like all these concepts, then I got to learn more about myself and people and humanity, and also how to have a better understanding. And those are lessons that I really do want to keep with me. yeah, but I want to move on from this segment of my life. I will have to come back at some point. So I did the Lion King production for like 2 years then in Shanghai, China. And then I moved back home, and then I was home for like 2 months, and then I moved to London, and I was like, oh my gosh. And yeah, we have to get into that, how my move was. I can definitely do more videos. Maybe I should do videos like moving to London, how to prepare yourself. And so now I've been living in London and in the UK for about, so since 2018, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Most of 2020 I was like in South Africa, because who wanted to be 2020, does that year even count in life? So for about 7 years, 7 going on 8 years, that I've been based in the UK, and between the UK and South Africa. And so yeah, that's where I am right now. That's how I came to being here. But I will do maybe more videos. Let me know if you guys have any specific questions, things that you'd like to learn about, my journey in specific, and maybe ways I can just, share some of the information. But I know I have loads to share, loads to give. And so I'll do a specific video about moving to London, what to expect as a South African, and perhaps also a Shanghai video. Yeah, but the past year, I know I haven't been as active as I wanted to be on YouTube. But honestly, when you are growing as a young person, sometimes you're just going through so many changes, and it can be a bit like, wait, this is a lot to process. So the past year and a half, there have been so many changes for me personally, and maybe that is why I'm even able to process things. So I have been running most of my childhood, and by running, I've been running and doing and creating and working and doing and performing 8 shows a week, doing this, that, and the other. As I said, straight from uni, straight into my dream job. Did that now for like, practically 10 years. And so right now I'm in a phase of my life where I feel like, oh my word, I'm so open, I'm so well rested, I have so much space. I have so much space in my heart to analyze myself, the good, the bad, the ugly, and to also just come into myself. And not saying I didn't have the ability to do that, but the way my life was, for everything there's a time. So now I'm in a season of my life where I'm stepping into a new phase, and I can feel God wanting to use me in a bigger way. But I know that this is gonna mean I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to change. I can't make excuses for myself. I can't baby myself. I'm gonna have to develop my discipline even more and show up for myself even more. But yeah, this year has not been very easy. I've been traveling between the UK and South Africa, and I remember I did a vlog for you guys where I was in Dubai, and actually that trip was when I was coming back from South Africa. So I was coming back from being at home with my family. I spend quality time with my mom, with my sisters, my brothers, my uncles, people that I love, my granny. I spend time with my granny that I love with all of my heart, like my grandfather. And it was very interesting, because how I even came to plan that trip was, I just picked up my app and I just booked. It was really random. I decided 3 weeks before that I was going home, and I spent about 3-4 weeks at home, and I spent time with my granny specific. I know that it's something that I've had to face living abroad and missing loved ones and missing quality time. It's something that has not always sat well with me, because I'm such a lover. I love my people. I love my people so much. So I'm like, when I was at home, I was just chilling with Bomama and feeling them, loving on them and all that. And so I had a great time. I had a wonderful time, and I was grateful to God for that opportunity. And then I came back, and when I came back, a few months later, I mean, I was back like late May. And so I came back to the UK, and everything was going well, everything was okay. But I knew that my granny wasn't feeling well. But I just had so much like positivity because she's a warrior. Like, she's someone that I've known and that I love. And so basically we lost her in July, and I was distraught. Like, when I tell you, my heart was broken. Like, I have days, even like now, it's October now, I have days where I'm like, because when I think of my grandmother, I think of someone who was so loving, so accepting, so peaceful. She's the person that whenever I'd go home, like, she's always cuddling me, and I love to cuddle, I love to hug. She will cuddle you. And growing up, yeah, I feel like I experienced the best version of her as her granddaughter, and I loved her so much that I was honestly upset at God for a while. I was like, you took my favorite person. She was, one thing I really loved about her is her level of gratitude. I love my granny. It doesn't matter what you give her, she will thank you. Like, she's so great, like, she's so grateful. I love that about her. Like, you'll give her just something, maybe you want to paint the house or to fix the kitchen or to do this, and she's just, or just even something small, and I love her spirit very, very much. And so when my granny sadly passed on, yeah, it was not a good time for me. So that was July, and I was also thinking about my mom, the way my mother loves her mother. That is her mom, and that is her person, right? And it's something that she's still navigating right now. And I pray that God can also protect her and guide her and strengthen her in this time. And my aunt as well. It was my aunt basically, because my granny had 5 kids, so all of them, like, and she loved her children, and her children, they loved her. They would, like, so she was a very blessed woman. And in my heart, she's not gone anymore, because I can't fathom the thought of her being gone. So in my heart, she's still with me. She's still with me. She's still by my side. And it's not only her, because last year I actually lost my great grandmom. Yeah, 2 people. Imagine, at my age, I grew up and I always had these people with me by my side, loving me, shouting at me, telling me of everything, guiding me, observing them, just drinking tea with them and watching how they do things. And so I am taking everything that I've learned from them, everything that I've observed, and I want it to add to the woman that I am, and I want it to multiply. I say to God in my prayers, God, help me to be strong and to live a lasting legacy. And because I do know that I am the manifestation of the wildest dreams of the woman who came before me. At my age and the things that I've been able to do and accomplish, I don't want to take my life for granted. I'm grateful. I'm so, so grateful for everything that I've experienced, the countries that I've traveled to, where I've traveled to, the places I've seen. I feel like my great granny and my great, 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 great granny would be so proud, because I've crossed lineages. These are things that they may not have experienced. I've just become a British citizen, that was like, what? So I'm the first British citizen from my family and my family lineage, and I'm like, that is just so wild. Like, huh? Because guys, sometimes you don't understand the boundaries and the things that can stand in your way, and that's why prayer is so important, to just keep pushing forward. Prayer and belief in self, and don't give up no matter what happens. Don't give up on yourself, don't give up on your journey, and know that you're meant to rise, you're meant to do good things. And so that's one of the main reasons why I've been a bit quiet here on YouTube, but I really want to challenge myself. I feel like I've never really given it my all. I literally have only 30 videos on my channel. Like, hello. I want to challenge myself and see what I can do and put myself out there, and I hope you guys will be willing to walk with me, you know, show me love, share with your friends and your family, and subscribe. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. I'm like on 500 right now. Yeah, I'd love to get to 1,000, so please share with as much people as you can, and you know, we can build this beautiful community together, a community of women, young, old, even men, where a space where we can all just share and empower one another, share experiences. And specifically to the ladies, this can be a space where it's a coming of age, right? We go through so many different lessons, and maybe perhaps we can share together, and you can learn from me and I can learn from you. You can share your stories as well. So I'm really looking forward to that process. On the to-do list today, I had a beautiful day. I had a lovely morning. I was at the gym. Listen guys, your girl has been in the gym. One thing for sure is that I've been working out. My body is so sore. Well, I just felt it, you know, when you like my body is so I'm really lifting, I'm challenging myself, and I feel so good, because the thing with working out is that it's so good for you mentally and physically. So when you're dealing with something that, you know, that hurts you, or something that a negative experience in life, when you go for a walk, when you work out, you run on the treadmill or you lift weights, you're helping your body get rid of that the negative energy, the stress, the cortisol that's built up, because you're giving yourself dopamine. And so it's good dopamine, right? You don't get good dopamine from, you know, when you buy a fast food meal and you just eat McDonald's. I mean, it makes you happy in the moment, but the truth is it's not really good for you. And so when you insert like good dopamine into your habits, into your life, such as reading books, going for a workout, praying and doing your affirmations, talking to God, like being in your, listening to good music, dancing, that is good for you, you know, and it'll lead to you leading a healthier life. And you know, when you're healthier, you can be a healthier mother, sister, friend, a better partner, right, for your loved one. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I've got a gig today, so I'm actually literally, I need to head out right now, and I'm actually looking forward to it so much. I'm singing at Wodo 100 Wodo Street. Yes, that's it. It's in Soho in London, and so I need to head out like in a few minutes. I gave you guys just a little bit of a get to know me tag, and we'll continue learning each other, right? Sometimes it is a process, it takes time, it doesn't happen overnight, right? Yes. How gorgeous is my plant? I'm so in love. Oh my gosh, I watered her. She's beautiful. I'm a plant mommy. I'm a plant mommy. The day when we met, had on your crisp white shirt and me, my favorite pink skirt. We walked around town, we spoke, calmness for the atmosphere.